What's up, guys? So the situation with my boy Deku here is really a little bit confusing. So we're gonna break it down into 3 parts. All right, so first up, we're gonna talk about his buff. In part 2, we're gonna talk about his first nerf, and in part 3, we're gonna talk about his most recent nerf. So he was buffed once and nerfed twice. So yeah, I know that's confusing, guys, but I will try to break it down. And so let's first start off, and I'll show you guys the buff they did to him. All right, so here we go, guys. So here's his original stats, guys. 14.6 million damage with a 12 SPA in the leader slot, guys, with Kisuki buff. So let me go show you guys the thing that they did with him, which is his buff. So let's go place him down. I'll show you guys his new damage. All right, so let's place him down. We're gonna give him the max upgrade. You're gonna see his damage goes up all the way, guys, to 5.03 million. All right, sounds good. All right, so now let's go get the Kisuki buff. And right here, and now he is doing 17.6 million. All right, and that is compared to 14, so that is actually a 1 million damage buff. Actually, no, it's a 3 million damage buff when factoring in the buff. So that's actually pretty good. So that's what they did to buff him, guys. Now I remember this is part, I guess we'll do part 2, which is how they nerfed him again. All right, so take a look at this, guys. Somebody DM me this. So basically, because of how this guy works, he used to actually work with the Fire Rage Orb. So look at this. He was doing 35 million damage with the Fire Rage Orb, but now the Fire Rage Orb no longer works, guys. On Deku, they did patch that. So now let me show you the other nerf they did to him. Now this nerf is probably the biggest, because before this nerf, Deku was raid mode meta. Now I'll show you what happened. All right, so if we take a look at his old stats. All right, so here's his stats, guys. You see this, though? This is the raid mode upgrade, the highest one you can afford in story mode. 1.34 million, 5 SPA, 80 range. So now if we take a look at what it is now, let's go get the upgrades. All right, bang, 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 bang. Multiple abilities, and then we're going to go grab Q energy. Now look at this, guys. 899K. That's actually really bad. So they pretty much cut his damage by 50%. So that is pretty big. So he's no longer super great for raid mode. Granted, though, once we do buff him, I mean, 3.14 for 5 SPA, guys, that is still pretty cracked. It's just not as good as it used to be. So there you go, guys. That is the up-to-date news on Deku.